in one straight line. You can sit in Padmasana, Ardha Padmasana, or Sukhasana in a comfortable meditative posture so that your whole spine is completely aligned, upright, such that you feel weightless. Once you settle in that weightless posture of any seated meditative posture, just close your eyes and begin to bring awareness from head to the toes and fingertips. Occupy this body fully with your awareness, not just the head, but the entire body. The stula sharira, the physical body, your gross body. Feel that you are present in this entire body. And then connect with your breath awareness by inhaling very slowly and deeply, feeling the whole lung capacity. At the end of inhalation, you enter into a pause, a gap, a neutral zone. Then you slowly exhale. At the end of exhalation, you enter into the second gap, second pause. So go on breathing in this fashion with awareness of the two gaps in your breathing. Let the breathing integrate this body and mind to the space of now. Let the breathing be the bridge between you and existence. Enter into the space of Sravana, authentic listening. In that restful awareness, as we get ready to receive what Bhagavan Sri Krishna has to impart in this session, without further ado, let's close your palm together in Anmajali Mudra, the prayer pose, in front of your Anahata Chakra, your heart center. We invoke Swamiji, our beloved Guru, by chanting the Sadguru Vandanam, followed by 3 times the Mahavakya, to bless us to enter into the inquiry of Bhagavad Gita. So take a deep breath. Nithyanandam Paramasukaram Kevalam Jnanamutim Dvandvatitam Gaganashatrisham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavaditam Trigunarahitam Satguruntam Namami. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Give yourself a bow from within in a deep prayer to Swamiji, our Guru, and Bhagavan Sri Krishna to bless us to receive the knowledge, the sacred knowledge of this chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and bless us to experience the truth. With that, let's enter into the session. Next slide. So those of you who attended last week, we begin with a very powerful Nitya Kriya by invoking the healthy fire, the Jarata Agni, in the body to help us to get out of confusion. See, when you are filled with confusion, you are not able to receive the truth. The subtle brain groove is not awakened. So let's do a quick, this Kriya will only take about 10 minutes. So we do this together as a preparation to enter into the inquiry of this chapter. So 3 steps. Let me just guide all of you through this meditation or short kriya. So first, form the linga mudra. So interlace the fingers, form the right thumb pointing upwards. Okay, so your right thumb is pointing upwards to the ceiling, just like a linga. Okay, so this is the linga mudra, which is a gesture of fires, which is exactly what we are doing to do, invoking the fire element in us. So interlace the fingers and put it in front of your anaraganda, which is the space between your heart and your navel area, near the solar plexus region. So this is the anaraganda. Understand, anaraganda is the point, the subtle point where the 7th chakra, 7 energy center merge into one spot. That is anaraganda. And that spot is the gateway to the cosmos. So put it in front of anaraganda. And you're going to breathe intensely for 3 minutes. So I'm going to time. So deep, long inhalation, exhalation, we're going to do the breathing. Okay, so let's start. Start breathing now. Slow, intense breathing. This breathing will activate a healthy fire in all of us. Let the fire be awakened, activated to burn away all the impurities, all the toxin that causes confusion in our inner space. Long, intense breathing with the linga mudra. Those of you who just joined, we're working on the first step of the Nitya Kriya. Allow the Kundalini energy to be awakened when you're doing this breathing. All right, finish the last breath. Let's enter into the second step. Place your hands on your shoulder joints like this, okay, on the top of the shoulder joints. You're going to rotate 11 times clockwise first, then anti-clockwise, okay, according to the breathing. So inhale, raise the elbow up. Exhale, down, 1. So do it 11 times at your own pace. 2, 3, 4, 5, do it slowly, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Reverse now, anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Relax. Now, we enter into the third step, Samana Mudra. Interlace the fingers like this and put it in front of your legs, in front of your thigh. So we are going to chant the Omkara on inhale and Hreem on exhale. Normally we Om on exhale, but this time round you need to adjust by inhaling first and then start Oming on inhale like this. Om Hreem. Do it 21 times. Continue now at your own pace, 20 times more. Om Hreem. 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 Om ह्रीं ॐ ह्रीं ॐ ह्रीं ॐ ह्रीं. Relax if we finish doing one time. Just sit for one more minute in silence. Allow the energy to settle in the body into the space of silence, restful awareness. Experiencing a pulsation at the third eye. A tingling sensation at the third eye, inner space. All right, you can slowly, very slowly open the eyes now. Well, we have more people now joined, some from India. Welcome. So let's go into the next slide after preparing ourselves to enter into the chapter 8, Aksarabrahma Yoga. So today, this is the flow we're going to go through. We'll recap for the benefit of people who are joining for the first time here, and also for people who attended last week. A quick recap what we went through last session in last Wednesday. So, and then we will touch on what is a summary of what this chapter is going to unfold. And then, as you know, today, the chapter is a very short chapter, which is talking about death itself. All the question you want to know, what is Bhagavan Sri Krishna's, sacred truth that he's going to share with the world about death. That he say your last memory follows the next birth. And he say that is a celebration, which is exactly what Swamiji said in Living Enlightenment book as well. And then he's going to make us understand death in a much more deeper level. And then he talked about thoughts on the divine. So these are the, in summary, what we're going to touch on today. So without further ado, let me just hand over to our Sri Vedavyasa to take us into this chapter. Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam, everyone. So let us start this session with a recap and with the mantra first. So let me first invoke mantra. Let me just invoke with the mantra Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam 𝐾𝐸𝐴𝐺𝐻 Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. This means, I salute unto you, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Guru, Master of the world, Son of Vasudeva, Supreme Bliss of Devaki, Destroyer of Kamsa and Chanura. Now, let us go to the next mantra to invoke the sacred knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Om Parthaya Pratibodhita Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshini Bhagavatim Ashtadasadhyayiniim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. This means, oh, I meditate upon you, Bhagavad Gita, the affectionate Divine Mother, showering the nectar of Advaita, non-duality and destroying rebirth, incorporated into the midst of Mahabharata, of 18 chapters by sage Vyasa, the author of the Puranas, and imparted to Arjuna by Bhagavan Sriman Narayana himself. So now, let us all remind ourselves about what Bhagavan Sri Krishna spoke about chapter 7, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. See, understand, in Jnana Vijnana Yoga, Bhagavan insists that first thing you need to learn to radiate Nididhyasana. That is, learn to think and speak with the same cognition you arrive at by internalizing authentic listening, Shravana, which will lead to clarity, and internalizing Manana, which will lead to cognitive shift. Powerfully living the cognitive shift is what is called radiating Nididhyasana. Please understand, Bhagavan says only 1 in a billion reaches him. This whole chapter is about how human beings approach the divine, why they approach the divine, and at what level they approach the divine, and at what level do they approach the divine to grow in maturity. He says, approach the divine in the right way, right context. It's all about context, isn't it? He says, I am the thread, the sutra, the technique on which this whole existence is strung. He says, he is the unseen ultimate energy without which there can be no universe at all. He declares, I am eternal. And he speaks about 3 gunas, attributes, sattva, rajas, tamas. Bhagavan says the person who approaches him out of love and gratitude is the best person, for he is dear to the devotee, and the devotee is dear to Krishna. He says clearly, one who knows me dwells in me. He is the best person because I am dear to him and he is dear to me. Being engaged in my mission, he attains me. I am in your heart, Krishna declares his divinity openly. Please listen. He asks us to leave attachment and aversion, raga and dvesha. And he also gives meditation as a technique for surrendering one's identity. As you all know, whole Gita Krishna gives Arjuna the techniques and processes, sutras that lead to liberation. Bhagavan says, even at the time of death, even if all your life you lived a dissolute life, if you realize the futility of the psychodrama you have played all your life, it will liberate you. The mere recognition of that drama can save you. If we want to die with the thought of the divine uppermost in our mind, we must be remembering him now. He is also, in 7th chapter, also he spoke about death, about next birth. And here he's continuing it in the 8th chapter, Aksarabrahma Yoga. Bhagavan is teaching the art of leaving the body, exiting. He says, death is our ultimate fear. Anyone who claims not to be disturbed by the thought of death is only lying. The moment we understand death, our life becomes a celebration. Krishna reveals the secret of death, understanding which we can live even our death. And we can leave, exit very smoothly. Bhagavan clearly says, your last memory follows you in next birth. When we understand how we assume body, we will know how we leave it. We create our whole body out of our fear, greed, guilt, and our engraved memories. These are called the root thought patterns, samskaras. We take body to work them out, experience them, and enjoy them. The problem is that after coming down into the body, we forget what we came down for. The samskaras and desires that we brought to live out and complete, we forget them. And instead, we accumulate desires from others in society. Means what? Borrowed desires. We accumulate desires from others in society and work out their desires in our life. When we live out others' desires in our life, we feel deeply discontented, deeply incomplete, because the energy that we brought with us will become insufficient. Death is a celebration, Bhagavan says. Death is the end of life as long as we don't understand it. The moment we understand it, it becomes a liberation and celebration. A man who is unable to understand death is like the living dead. A person who understands death will live even after his death. When we understand that this life and the departure from this life is a journey in a continuous cycle of birth and death, there is no urgency in living this life And there is no fear in leaving this life also. When we understand that what we do in this life and how we do it determines how we are born, we will have a very far greater understanding of how to lead this life. Our understanding about death influences our whole social structure, thinking system, and our whole mentality can be transformed with the right understanding about death. Bhagavan speaks about karma. See, understand, he speaks about birth and death. And when he says karma, karma refers to the unfulfilled desires that we create over many births, which pull us back again and again to take birth and fulfill them. Let me tell you the types of karma. We have 3 types of karma: Sanchita, Prarabdha, and Agamya. Sanchita karma is our complete bank of unfulfilled karmas, like our safety deposit or the files archived in our office vault. Our bank. Prarabdha karma are those karmas that we have brought and come into this life, like files in filing cabinets, which we access and work on regularly. Now, what is Agamya? There is the third karma called Agamya karma. These are like the new files on our table that we keep creating, new karma that we create in every life. So understand, we must exhaust all these 3 types of karmas to experience enlightenment. And Krishna says here, O best of embodied beings, O best of embodied beings. He's talking to Partha, Arjuna. He feels whichever beings embodied, Arjuna is the best. O best of embodied beings, the physical nature that is constantly changing is called Adhibhuta, universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods. All the demigods. If we understand death, our whole life will be automatically disciplined. This gives us a background to understand the secret of death. When we understand why we take birth, it is easier to understand what happens when we leave the body. If we understand this deeply, our desire to possess everything around us will automatically drop. Krishna clearly says, all physical matter is energy and it keeps changing. And he speaks clearly in this verse. Everything, whether living or non-living, is an embodiment of the Supreme Soul. The same Supreme Soul lives in everything and everybody. This whole chapter is about the secret of death. He says, whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Me alone means superconsciousness. He's saying, whoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering superconsciousness alone, immediately attains his nature. Let me chant for you. Om antakale cha mam eva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati sa madbhavam yati nastyatra samsayah. I'll do that once more.
Yeah.
Antakale cha mam eva.
Antakale cha mam eva.
Smaran muktva.
Smararam mutva.
Kalevaram.
Kalevaram.
Yah prayati.
Yat prayati.
Samadbhavam.
Samadbhavam.
Yati nastyatra.
Yati nasti astra.
Nastyatra.
Nastya samya.
Samsayah.
Samsayaha.
Okay. He says, whenever you do not fulfill any action completely, you create a hangover. You create a recorded memory of that action, a samskara. Samskara is living energy because it has the power to make you repeat the same action again and again and again as a pattern. If you have completed with that pattern by living a single samskara totally, completely, that samskara drops from your being. You are liberated from it. If we are unconscious at the time of leaving the body, we naturally take lower level bodies in our next birth. We come back as beings which do not have a high level of consciousness. That is the reason Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Means, in whatever state you are at the time of leaving the body, you will achieve that state without fail. God, this is too much.
Oh my God.
Yes, because how can we control ourselves at the time of the death?
You know, Swamiji said that at the time of death, so much pain, right? Especially when the consciousness is withdrawing from this body, if you have a lot of samskara, it'll be so much pain. And in the imbalanced state, how can you remember?
I know. That is the reason all these practices, meditation techniques are given, because whole life we have to remember him, so that in the end life, we will be able to remember him automatically.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bhagavan says, be sure to reach me.
It's like,
Krishna says, Arjuna, you should always think of me. You should always be in my state of consciousness, even when you are doing your regular duty, even in your activities. Then you will attain me without doubt. Let us chant this. First, let me chant. Om tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyachai mayarpitamano buddhir mamaivasya smasayah. Let me first repeat. Om tasmat sarveshu
Tatsmat sarveshu
kaleshu
kaleshu
mam anusmara
mam anusmara
Yudhyachai
Yudhyache
Mayarpita
Maya Pita
Mano Buddhir
Mano Buddhi
Mam Evaisyasya
Mam Evaisyasya
Samam Sayah.
Samsayaha.
Okay, means please be very clear. Whatever we think during our whole life, the same thought will come to us in the end also. So, in the next verse, Krishna says, at the time of death, fix your mind between the eyebrows. He adds, without being distracted and with devotion. See, all this is not in our control at the time when the life force is about to leave the body. But if we have led a life in such higher consciousness, this automatically happens at that time. That's exactly what we want, isn't it? Next. There's a question from Sika.
Yes, the question from the seeker is, Sri Vedavyasa, how can human being be in the witnessing mode when he lives a regular life? As you know that a lot of us are living in the outer world, living a regular life, and at the time of death, how can we maintain in that witnessing consciousness to be able to sail through, the passage of death? I think that is, the burning question for everybody, because only when you are in that witnessing mode, the awareness, we are able to not be imbalanced and able to, take a quantum jump to the liberation. So that is the, question from the seeker.
Yes, true. See, understand, naturally, we are living an outer world life. So, if we have to think about God during death, then how do a human being be in the witnessing mode? See, start in a simple way. When you drive, when you sit, when you talk, even when you're having a bath, see what is happening inside and outside you. See what is happening and outside happening you. Please mute Anadyanta. Please mute Anadyanta. See, whether we are cooking, whether we are sitting, whether we are talking, even when we are watching television, see what is happening inside and outside of you. If we just witness the body and mind, we will automatically come back for that experience, for that peace again. Go into the consciousness of your being. Experience samadhi so that all hindrances disappear. You will experience the ultimate, eternal consciousness. While in the body, if we have experienced thoughtless awareness, universal consciousness. What is thoughtless awareness? Universal consciousness. even for a single moment without the body and mind, that is what is called as samadhi. Please understand, when you are in the body, if you experienced thoughtless awareness, universal consciousness, even for a single moment, without body and mind activity, that is called samadhi. So sometimes, if we decide to take birth, we can even take a conscious birth if we experienced that one moment of samadhi. Like the great masters did, we can take a conscious birth. Krishna says, Yoga Bhrashta. Yoga Bhrashta means we take birth in a family that will be conducive to our spiritual growth, which will not create obstacles to our spiritual practices. Krishna says that only very rarely do souls take birth in this type of family. So, Sri Krishna is suggesting that remember me constantly through immersing in scriptures. Remembering him means, I'm not talking about physical form, cosmic form. Sri Krishna gives different ways to attain Brahman or God or ultimate consciousness. He says that people learned in the Vedas attain Brahman. Immerse yourself in the scriptures. Keep reading some scripture or the other and imbibe its truth. It will have a tremendous impact on you. We will get into that mood of enlightenment. And this is what Krishna wants. When our thoughts are always directed towards self-realization, our thoughts will be of enlightenment at the time of death also. So this is what Bhagavan wants us to do. See, I'm telling again, immerse yourself in scriptures. Keep reading some scripture or the other. Imbibe the powerful cognition. I tell you, it will have a tremendous impact on you. And he is declaring that he is available to anyone who remembers him constantly. He's saying, I am always available to anyone who remembers me constantly, Partha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. After attaining me, the great souls who are steeped in yoga never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. He says, let existence take care. Let all his responsibilities handed over to the existence. See, from the highest planet of Brahmaloka down to the lowest Loka, all places are places of misery, of repeated birth and death. But one who attains me, one who attains my being, means Krishna, one who attains my consciousness, never takes birth again. Punarjanma na vidyate means never takes birth again. When we live in the body, at least once, by meditating or by surrender, experience one glimpse of thoughtless, restful awareness. Work intensely for it, for at least one glimpse of the witnessing consciousness, the space of completion. The enlightened master's initiation. This is very important. And inner awakening is the torch of consciousness that guides us through this path, through our living and leaving, exiting. Krishna conveys throughout this chapter, Krishna conveys the single message. Experience his consciousness, thoughtless, witnessing consciousness in which Krishna stays and plays the whole game of life. How he lives through the whole of life. That is why Krishna's life is called Leela, cosmic play. Krishna Leela. Krishna conveys one thing. All we need to do is work to achieve a glimpse of thoughtless awareness, a space of completion, even for a moment, at least for a single moment. In the next few chapters, he speaks deeply on how to open every layer, how to clean and complete with every layer, and how to achieve the conscious glimpse or the thoughtless awareness. He says further, only when we achieve the consciousness of nirvana, thoughtless awareness, we will not take rebirth. Krishna says that in all this creation and destruction, only one thing is neither created nor destroyed, and that is the ultimate consciousness. Please understand, in this birth itself, all of us have to achieve the consciousness of nirvana, thoughtless awareness. Otherwise, we will be continuously taking birth, going through death and birth and death. And we really don't know what kind of birth we are going to get next birth. So now this is the right birth. We all know an incarnation. So now is the time to work on achieving thoughtless awareness.
Great. So here's another question from the seeker,
Yes.
Sri Vedavyasa. The question is, what happens at the time of death? What exactly happened? What a soul undergoes?
What happens at the time of death? God, this is a question for whole humanity. Time of death. See, the spirit travels through the 7 layers which are there inside us at the time of death. The first 4 layers are related to the physical body-mind system. That's why they say, Swamiji once told, a ghost will not have the first 4 layers. It will have only 3 layers. That is the reason ghost cannot do any harm to us. Because of our fear, we get scared. We get irritated. But actually, it cannot do anything because we are made up of 7 layers and it is made up of 3 layers. So understand, the first 4 layers are related to the physical body-mind system. The spirit travels through these 7 layers at the time of death. These 4 layers, they store emotional memories, patterns related to desires, guilt, and pain, which is experienced during that lifetime. So the fifth layer is experienced during deep sleep and when leaving the body. The sixth layer is associated with happy memories. And the seventh layer is beyond sorrow and happiness, nirvana. Beyond sorrow and happiness. It is the ultimate consciousness. So, Sri Krishna says, one who attains my abode will never return. Yam prapyana nirvartante taddhama paramam mama. Means, one who attains my abode will never return back. Please understand. Krishna again and again talks about focusing one's thoughts on the divine. The only way to think of the divine at the time of our death is by thinking about him all the time, whole life. Only then, at that time during death, we can remember him. Otherwise, if whole life if we are not thinking about divine, then suddenly during death, we cannot think of God. In such pain and suffering, we suddenly can't think of God if we have always been thinking about money, profession, food in our life or power. So it is impossible to think of God at that time. If whole life, if we spend this way. So when we live in a state of continuous devotion, our last thought will be of the divine. When we are immersed in thoughts of God, our inner space is purified and transforms into the space of completion. Understand, we are preparing ourselves at the time of death. These thoughts will liberate us. So, higher consciousness. See, Sri Krishna means when our mind is totally balanced and unagitated, it means when our being is conscious. Unagitated, balanced means what? It means when our being is conscious. Means we will travel in that higher consciousness path and we will disappear into Brahman, dissolve into Brahman. According to the Vedas, there are two ways to pass from this world. One is light and one is in darkness. Shukla Krishna Gati Haite Jagat Shashwate Mate. Means, when one passes in light, he does not return. But when one passes in darkness, he comes back again. Ekaya yatyana vartam ananya vartate punah. Means, please understand, the moment we die, when we pass into the light tunnel, we never return. But when we pass into the darkness tunnel, we will come back again. We are in the net of birth and death cycle. So Bhagavan is saying, be fixed in devotion. Be fixed in devotion.
So the devotion holds the key to in the remembrance at the time of death, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The essence of the whole chapter is, see, understand, devotion, there's supposed to be 9 ways to reach God. They say one of them is devotion through music, you know, towards enlightenment. So many times, see, whole day we can't be reading a scripture, right? So we should choose different paths. Means once we should be listening to motivating music. Once we should be maybe seeing, if people are interested in watching television, watch devotional movies or something like that, devotional stories. Sometimes read devotional stories about devotees, great devotees. You can read their sharings. Sometimes do mantra. Sometimes do puja. Sometimes sit in meditation. And 2 hours a day, sit in initiation of Swamiji, of Guru. So like this, we can divide our time. And whatever we are doing, we can put ourselves in devotion. So Krishna summarizes the essence of the whole chapter. He says, O Partha, the devotees who know these different paths are never bewildered. Therefore, O Arjuna, at all times, be always fixed in devotion. Yoga yukto bhavarjunaha. A person who understands the different paths that a spirit can take while leaving the body will always be prepared for death. He immerses himself in devotion, yoga, throughout his life for liberation. The last thought while leaving the body governs the path that the spirit chooses when entering the next body. Again and again, he emphasizes that this thought cannot be divine. Please understand, when we are leaving the body, he says that thought which comes cannot be divine unless we spend our entire lives in devotional service. Krishna is saying enriching is so very important. Krishna says if one engages in activities with devotion and enriching, then he will be there at the time of one's death. He has given intellectual knowledge, Shastra, until now. Until this chapter, Bhagavan taught intellectual knowledge, Shastra, to Arjuna. But in the following chapters, he gives deeper level techniques. Sutras, Shastras are over. Now, sutras, techniques to experience that ultimate truth. So let us pray to that ultimate energy, Pararbrahma Sri Krishna, to give us the intelligence and the experience of thoughtless awareness, witnessing consciousness, what we call as completion, or Atmajnana, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. So thank you, everybody. So do you have any questions?
Yeah, those of you who have questions so far, you can type on the chat and we'll answer your question. Take a few moments. So I hope that clarifies about the science of death, the science, the art of living. So in summary is to be stick in the devotional service and in remembrance of the divine.
Yes, and also understanding about the three types of karma: Sanchita, Prarabdha, and Agamya. We really need to understand these three types of karma to exhaust them, so that when we exhaust them, we will definitely be in the space of completion and space of devotion during our death.
I remember Swamiji said that once he said that exhaust your parabdha karma, take care that you don't create agamya karma, which means don't create more karma when you're in the body, and he will take care of the sanchita karma, because that is beyond us. Only the guru can burn away all the sanchita karma.
Correct.
For devotion to happen. So, whatever prarabdha karma we have chosen to land in this body to exhaust, just take care that we fulfill them and make sure that you don't create more karmas while you're living in this body, without awareness. And the rest he takes care of burning all your karmic bank. So I think that's what he said.
Yes, because Sanchita karma is all that we have accumulated over many births, because each time we take a birth, we try to pick up 6 or 10 things to exhaust, and we come back to this earth. But after coming here, we forget about exhausting those 6 or 10, and we collect more karmas. So whatever 6 and 10 to exhaust we came are still there, and what we picked are also still there. Like this, every birth it is happening. So the bank balance has grown mountains and mountains and mountains.
Like never ending.
Yes.
So truly, liberation is only possible by Guru's grace, isn't it?
Exactly.
Now I
See how
understand.
compassionate Lord Krishna is, Bhagavan is. He's saying, Prarabdha karma means what? Whatever we picked up 6 or 10 desires and we came down in this body, he's saying, you try to exhaust only that 6 or 10. And Agamya means which we pick up in this birth. Please don't pick up anything. He's saying, don't pick up. And just focus on exhausting just those 6 or 10 karmas. Rest of the mountains and mountains and mountains of Sanchita karmas, I will take care. I will exhaust them, he's saying.
Exactly.
We don't have much work. It's very easy.
Sounds like a good plan.
So anyhow, looks like nobody has questions. This chapter is a very small chapter. So let's...
Yeah. No question on that about clarification, what you need to do in the devotional service. So when he said devotional service means serve the Guru, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, don't think that you can just sit here and just listen all the things and then without doing any work. So serve the Guru and be part of the Guru's mission. So I think that's what he's encouraging everybody to do. Be in his, part of his mission. And I think in Guru Gita also it talks about, doing his work, right? Be part of the Guru's mission.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So it looks like there's no questions today. I'm surprised. Even Javishatika has no question today. Okay, so if there's no question, shall we just cover the last few slides on enriching?
Yes, please do.
So as you know that we are now in the midst of Paramashivoham level 1, 2, 3, and we just want to highlight that in this season, Swamiji has made available all 3 seasons simultaneously to everybody. And he said that for those devotees who have not attended, one, they should attend one. then carry on to 2, and then 3, so that progressively you're able to, build a strong foundation in your spiritual growth. So I have here put together a table on the day 10, which is today. Today is going to be on 7 chakras, and then tomorrow is going to be continuation of 7 chakras. So talk about, understanding the chakras in a deeper level. So each day you can actually pick, if you're not able to attend the full 21 days, ideally you should attend 21 days, but if because you're working or whatever, you can pick certain day and come back again in the next seasons to complete the other days that you have missed. Okay. So try to attend the first level program, and because many of these programs are conducted in the earlier days of Swamiji's public life, which means all these very, very earlier programs, they're very, very powerful, easy program to for us to understand for a lot of common man. Because right now for Paramahensivana level 3, a lot of powerful cognition can go above your head if you are not given this foundation. Like when he talked about vertical time zone, all that may be a little bit too advanced for the common man. So at least Paramahensivana level 1 will give you that understanding and build those subtle brain groove for you to progress in more and more initiation subsequently in level 2 and level 3. So this is the intention that Swamiji has recommended to all the devotees. If you have not attended any of the earlier programs, please come and start with level 1, Paramahensivana level 1. Okay, so this is you can get a schedule of the days till 26th of November. Okay, next slide. And also Paramahensivana level 2 and 3, which also started on the 6th of November. Please go ahead and find out more. And Swamiji is giving initiation every morning at here in Singapore is 8 a.m. And of course, all of you who are aware, please participate in the live darshan, because the live darshan, he gives initiation for devotees participating in level 1, level 2, and level 3. So whichever level you're attending, he gives the initiation on the day itself for all the participants. So don't miss the live initiation. Like I said in this chapter, you say Guru's initiation is very important for us to be established in the witnessing consciousness, right? So make sure that you attend the initiation so that you can fall into the samadhi state. Okay, so next slide. Okay, this is the final slide. Besides thanking you all for the participation, Swamiji did say again as a reminder for all of us to have a breakthrough in knowledge of this sacred book, Bhagavad Gita, and to manifest abundance in our life. He said, talk to 11 people a day about this book or this scripture, and bring them to the next session, whether it's to enrich them to Paramahensivana home level 1, 2, 3, or to this session. And by doing that, talk to 11 people, you will see a lot of this powerful cognition just start getting into your bio memory. And if you like, we also highly recommend you to download and read the Bhagavad Gita Decoded, which is written by Swamiji. If you have the physical book, that would be wonderful. If you do not have a physical book, you can go and download through this link, and then start reading the book. We're all reading the book now, because I think in Chaturmasya, many of us, Swamiji has given us a project to read this book. So last but not least, we are going to announce that we have the next chapter 9 next week, Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga. So on the 22nd of November. So next Wednesday, I welcome all of you back again. This is going to be a fascinating chapter.
It's a royal secret and royal knowledge.
Yeah, so all the secrets and the royal secrets and knowledge about yoga. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna is going to reveal to all of us. because he's talked about that, how to liberate ourselves and, be able to establish in that restful awareness. So now he's giving more understanding about the royal secret in the next chapter. So don't miss and encourage people to come to join us for the next session. All right. So looks like we'll end 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
With that,
With that, we will end with the Puna mantra.
Yeah, you can end with the Puna mantra, ma?
Yeah. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sadguru Padarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam, thank you all for joining this session. See you on next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Recording. You can share your clicks in the WhatsApp group if you like.